Morning everyone, Monday morning again. We've brought the Subaru round back into the main workshop just so that my brother can come and do his brakes, which he's got the week off, so presumably he'll be here within the next couple of days to do that. We just put a protective sheet over it just for the time being. We removed all the suspension off this little imp months ago, and it's been sat in storage waiting to go to the owner. It's not been very well, so I haven't done anything with it. All we've got to do on that now is the roof and the tailgate, like basically the top half of the vehicle, but I'll show you a bit on that. We've done all floor pans and front end and all the new panel work underneath, but I've got a feeling he's going to be pretty much red hot with all this suspension and engine work. So once all that's painted up and ready to come back, we've got it on a trolley at the moment, so it's pretty low down to the floor, so we'll seal everything all up underneath and get all the suspension and running gear back in it when he's finished. Hopefully have him back in that soon, but we've a few bits to do on the roof rails and whatnot first. There's a big hole in the front of the roof, so we'll deal with that, and then that'll be it then, just a bit of paint. Today we've got a Fiat Abarth, Punto Abarth. We've actually had this in, we've done bonnet, bumper, front wings. It's been in a couple of times, and she's just gradually been having bits done as she's got the extra funds there just to pay for stuff. So the only panels that haven't been painted on it now are both front doors and both rear quarters. We did all of the back end on it. So the boot lid and the bumper. Yeah, so I'll show you a bit of footage on this as we go. And you'll notice we've got our new plate covers on, front and rear. We've had all those made up now just to protect the identities of the vehicles when they're in the workshop. So someone had made a little comment on that. We've got one in the booth which is nearly ready for primer. That's in the prep booth. We'll swap it over into the other half, and then that can have we're having all this tidied up this week, and we've got a skip coming, so we're going to sort all that lot out, and then that frees that space up again now. But we've got one in the booth which I'm prepping a few bits on. I'm going to pull that out. We've got another little imp which is almost ready to rock for paint, so I'll show you that, and I'll put in this video you might have seen it earlier on from a couple of months back when we were doing some of the prep on it. It's quite big repairs. It had quite a lot of metal work, but I'll show you that. Okay, so 2.5 hours of prep and a bit of backmasking and making sure everything's off it and perfect. But this is about to roll into the booth this afternoon. We're just going to move the Subaru. We've got another one in there that's coming out, so yeah, we've foam edged the door shut so we can just open the door, get in it and just reverse it straight in. There's a couple of bits of stopping that you're dealing with, but that is the Abarth ready to go in. So if you had all the money in the world, and you'd probably take the quarter glasses out and spend another 120 quid, but things like this have to be sort of done on a bit of a budget really. We've taken off as much as we can to work with the customer's budget, but we're just taking the gaskets off the door handles and just sat them back in again so that everything gets painted properly. We don't mask up trims and things like that. backmask everything and do everything right, and then job's as good as it can be. Stripes will be here this afternoon for this, so should be able to show some completed pictures of this and a video tomorrow when she picks it up. So yeah, I'll keep you posted on that. Friday morning, Fiat Arbath is back together. Stickers have been put on the bottoms of the doors, all the windows, rubbers. Adam's just 2000s in now, just picking a few tiny little spots out of it. Yeah, and that is another one out the door. When it was in the booth, sometimes the heat can, if like plastic arches and bumpers have had smart repairs done on them with like an aerosol or something, it tends to take the paint off, because the glue on the tape, when we mask them out, it softens up when it gets warm in the booth, and then when you pull it off, it shrinks as it cools, so you can see like the tape marks in it, but it'll pull that paint straight off, especially if it hasn't been abraded first. So as you can see now, I've just fine lined this out where it meets the body. I've done it a little bit on the bumper as well, but we're just gonna mask this out with a sheet of paper all the way around, and then put some proper plastic paint on here just to rectify that. Stripes look well. And these are made by a company we use for all our striping. You can't readily availably get these really for a lot of stuff, so we just have them made. We take tracings of them and we send them away and have them made. It's having window deflectors on it when the lady picks it up, but you can see there where the rubbers, where the original one's been, it's just sat proud because it tucks underneath it, so there's not a right lot we can do about that until she comes with the new ones, and then we'll just, the same thing will happen again. Yeah, so a bit of polishing now, and this one will be out the door today. Colour looks bang on, no issues there. And then we'll pull the mini sheet off. We're going to do some buffing on that. That's one that could really do with going next week really. If we could have done it this week, it would have been ideal, but it's just been a very busy week. Weather's been a bit unpredictable, so if you've got a body shop, you'll understand what I mean when everything's wet through and you've got a day scheduled. Other thing on the agenda for this afternoon is usual, we do quite a lot of these transit custom where they get broken into here, so it's not actually that bad, and the piece of metal is actually in there, it's just folded back, so we're just going to panel beat that back round, weld that up. We'll probably just take all the bits off this and just fully paint this door, and then we aim to swap this tomorrow, get everything swapped over, locks and handles and light and everything else, try and keep this one back on the road for next week. Yeah, there's one in the booth which will be coming out shortly. There's a pair of doors there which will be going in to get painted there, flatted and prep ready, and there's a Mercedes on the ramp, so that's the one that's had the driver's rear quarter and driver's rear door paint on it. Yeah, so we'll take our plates off this when it goes outside and get it washed, and then show you the end result. Fiat Punto's ready to go now. Adam's just doing a few little finishing touches to it, but can't really tell with white really how good it looks, but yeah, it's really shiny. I mean, this car before was really, the paintwork was really dull and dead, gone like milky chalky, so I put a high solids 2K Octoral paint on there. It's previously been in for front bumper and bonnet, that's all been done. Yes, this is now a bit of cleaning. This will be going shortly. All the edges have been checked. Yeah, another one out the door Friday afternoon. All done, dusted. Tomorrow's job, Range Rover. Nice colour. So the issue with this is the wheels have already been sent off and done. They've come back nice. They look really well. So we've sent the caps going in. Problem is with this door. So obviously you can see there, like a tin opener. Something's just caught it, and it actually damaged the wheel as well. That's why the wheels have been done. But we're going to pull this out and strip the inside door card, take this moulding off, and then go in from the inside, panel beat it and planish it as best we can. A bit difficult because the only entrance is really up here, so might be a bit of a struggle, but all the pieces are still there, so we'll just panel beat it, strip all the paint off, re-weld all this. Door's quite expensive, so, and there's nothing wrong with the rest of it, it's perfect, so it's not really worth putting a door on for that. We'll just, when we're finished on the inside, we'll just put some panel bond behind it, just to prevent the water getting to the back of the weld. It should be fine, but it's a repair at the end of the day. It's not a new door, so it's a bit of a compromise on the job, but we'll make it right. It saves the customer buying the door. We've got a Sprinter bonnet, which is the last thing to do on this job. It's been a massive job. I'll show you this one. It's just been a massive job, but this was full of stone chips, so buzzed them all out. This is having its first coat of epoxy primer. There's two small repairs to do on it there, so we've just got it in the dirty booth at the minute, along with the door for this emergency job we've got on. Transit custom outside, so yeah, this is just going to be wet on wet, this, just to get them back on the road. We've got a security plate to go over the top where it's had a repair. Yeah, but we'll try and get rid of this Saturday afternoon, so it's ready for the lads to go back to work Monday morning. But yeah, I'll show you that when it's done. You may have seen some footage of this already in the video, but it's just when it was outside with the old door on, so So as you can see now, I've put this plastic paint on, especially for mouldings. It looks all brand new again. I'm just going to give that a couple of minutes just to tack off, and then we'll take this masking off and just run a heat gun over it. Just put the infrared lamps on each one of them. It's one of those unforeseen problems, this, that we've quoted for painting 2 quarters and 2 doors, but this is just one of those things that you can't necessarily plan for. When it happens, it kind of puts you on the back foot. This is one of the reasons why body shops kind of give updates rather than definite pickup times, unless it's fairly straightforward. When you're dealing with a slightly older car as well, you're always going to come across those little tiny trip ups that just get you and just put you back an hour or two, and then obviously the job that you should have been doing you can't do because you're rectifying a problem that you weren't aware of. So anyway, this is done now. That roar in the background is just the booth. Just finishing another job off. But yeah, the masking will come off now. We'll get this dried off, and then this can go out once it's polished. It's all been 2000s and 3000s off now. You probably can't pick it up on camera. Maybe you can, I don't know. You see the slightly flatted finish there. And then this will get washed. I'll show you this finished off, and then we'll just jump onto the Merc then. Lower this down onto the ramp. There's a lot of workshop stuff been going on as well over the last 48 hours. So one of my lads has been in just putting some of our old jig equipment, just tidying it all back onto the shelves, all the old bits of metal that just come in handy now and again. Tiny little bit, some of the brackets that we don't use anymore have been taken off, and some of the other ones that we do use regularly have been put in place. And yeah, he's going to tackle this corner this Saturday when he's in. That's on his schedule. And then we'll deal with the this cupboard, tidy this area up. There's a couple of shelving units going up there to put all the sandpaper on, clear that lot up. We're just about getting there now after a few months really of just doing a bit of work, shifting stuff around and moving things, but we're not that far away from being where we need to be now and get everything back up operational again. It's about running about 75% what we would normally run at, but we're getting there. There's a Range Rover in this afternoon for a door repair, which is an aluminium welding job. It's pierced it, so I'll walk around that with you as well. And that'll be it for this week. We'll wrap everything up, put it in the video, and get done. Stairwell in here, no handrails on it or anything, but they're done now. We're just waiting on some shelving units to come from underneath, and we've progressed a little bit through into the paint room. Lads have painted both the paint cabinets now. This is all organised as well in here, alphabetically ordered, so we know if we get a vehicle in, we know which paint we've got for which vehicles. Some of it you can pull it out, and if it's out of date then we're obviously not going to use it, but if it's within date, one of those little tins can save us about 25-30 quid if we've got enough to do the job. We'll just move some stuff into here. We're going to panel all this out over the next weekend or so. Toilet's all been painted, and we've got some shelving up here. We'll just put a workbench in there. Yeah, put radio on there, just a bit of a stock room. We've got a couple of paint, once this is all cladded up here, we'll put these, we've got a couple of gun holders that we'll stick on there for during the day use, and then we use the carry cases to take them all home with us at night. Yeah, so that is that. Paint room, booth, doors painted. Yeah, so we're making progress, So the bonnets come back from the soda blasters. That's now in the prep bay. It's like primer booth, this next door to the main booth. We just use for doing a little bit of the sanding work and the priming. It's not really that crucial. Look, you have to have things pristine in here, but we'll be on with that. We've just pulled the mobile ramp into here for the time being, just so that we can deal with a few little prep points on the front of this imp, and then that's through to next door then to get painted. Working really well actually, having two booths side by side. We could just pull in and do the odd little repair in this dirty booth, as we call it, and then into next door for the clean, for the paint. But yeah, we'll get these bits tidied up on the front of this today, and then that'll be it then, next door for paint. That's Range Rover in for its little bit of therapy. We'll make a start on this shortly, and then carry on with that on Monday just for the door repair. And this is the door we've just swapped. You can see what a mess that was. It's actually behind the plate that had been put on there previously, and then they've obviously had another go at it. So what we're going to do with this now is we're going to weld these up. We'll panel beat it flat, weld it up, and then we'll just make another plate that goes over everything now, and then just keep this door in stock, give it a polish up, and then if it happens again we can just remedy the situation within the space of about an hour and a half, just by swapping the door over. Another little courtesy car there, washed, ready to go out Monday. That's getting swapped for another vehicle. So yeah, that's it for 1 week.